appreciate Aaron and Randy inviting me and getting to speak in front of all of you today. Thank you. Perfect. So, what I had recognized back about 4 years ago was that we all, as consumers, were turning to the web to do our pre-purchase due diligence. And I asked a really simple question: how are sales guys getting in front of customers at this time? And they really weren't. The pendulum of marketing was swinging very, very far towards automation. And I said, you know, human is always involved in the sales process. Maybe this pendulum is going to have to swing back a little bit more towards human. There was nothing out there that really helped introduce live salespeople directly to customers on the web. So we started working on it. Took us over 2 years of software coding development to deliver on our solution, which has given us a bit of a head start in the marketplace. What I wanted to show you here real quick, if I can get out of the way here, this is one of our clients from First Blush 2 weeks ago. They reached out to us, called us, said, we heard about your technology, can we use it? We installed with them in 2 days, and I'm happy to tell you that they've seen enough results back from this that it's paid for itself for an entire year. This is the Cleveland Browns NFL football team. What we introduced to them is this component that you see right here. I have a vision for a future where every single commercial website that you see on the web is going to have a new option, and that's a live human being that you can reach out to, ask questions, initiate engagement with. And that's what Cleveland was looking for, the Browns were looking for from us. They've got all these great dog pound fans, they're coming to the website looking at tickets. They wanted to be more proactive, they wanted to improve their customer experience, and they wanted to swim upstream in the process, get directly to those customers, those fans, at the moment of interest, and effectively engage them. So what we brought in here is all their guest relations, customer service people. It's initiated by their fans when they're visiting and taking a look at tickets or any of the products that they're interested in from the Browns. And they can self-initiate a combination of text, audio, and video chat directly from this environment. So we've been working with companies like Microsoft, Intuit, AAA, the big automobile membership club. They're all using this. We have 109,000 end users of our software now, so not insignificant. This is another interesting piece of our technology. We don't just do the directory, so you don't just find a human being at the website, but we've also enabled the salesperson to digitally go wherever customers are across the web. What we call this is a web container. It self-contains your identity as a salesperson, all of your digital assets. We handle over 68 different file formats to inform and educate customers, and your customers can talk with you via text, audio, and video chat right from here without having to download any software or any browser plugins at all. So this is really about portability. It's about having that sales presence at your company website, social media, within search engines, and a number of other digital environments that we're working on right now. We've actually got a new technology that we're planning on pushing out towards the end of this quarter here, where this technology can actually be installed directly in digital documents. So we've all seen, you know, PDF brochures, pricing lists. You get to the end of it, and there's a generic email address or phone number there. Imagine if there's a live salesperson ready to engage you right at the bottom of that document. In terms of our business model, this is being sold software as a service. These are beautiful models. We've scaled up to 100, we're now actually over 110,000 end users, and we have 7 full-time employees in our company. So these models scale marvelously. A lot of upfront expense in building it, you know, trying to figure out what works and what doesn't. But once you really get dialed up, it can scale in a very marvelous way. So it's a simple model. We've got a freemium where you as a professional can come in and sign up for it. We've got an individual user. This is typically used by people like real estate agents. They'll come in and sign up for it. We've got a professional level that has a lot more feature-rich offering. And then we have an enterprise offering that we're selling to larger companies. In terms of the secret sauce, we do have intellectual property around our offering. We have over 15 million lines of hand coded software, so we're basically 2 years ahead of any competitor that's looking at coming in here. what we've recognized here is that we're building a product for vertical market. So we've got new offerings coming out for real estate, for automobile sales, for insurance sales, and the list goes on and on. One of our more extreme customers is a publicly traded company, Type Machinery. They are a big seller of combines, you know, these pieces of equipment where farmers come and spend $2 million on them, and they have GPS. But they realized that their farmers weren't driving, you know, their Chevy truck into their distribution center in South Dakota anymore. These farmers are getting tech savvy and visiting their website to check out all the specs on the new combine. And they said, we need a way to get our salespeople in front of these customers right at that moment of interest. So that's why they chose us. In terms of the communication functionality, we are very much device agnostic. So we believe this technology should work just as well on your handheld smartphone, to your tablet device, to your desktop computer, even your web connected TV at home. And so we're going in all these environments, and we are focused on this presence piece here right now. There's one company in the world that's better than us at presence, but we're number 2. We are literally processing millions of transactions per hour, determining when all of our users are online connected to the web so we can show them in an online status, or when they're offline, and that goes across their desktop computer. It can go with them on their mobile or tablet device. Massive infrastructure challenge to accomplish that. In terms of how we're marketing, we can ill afford millions of dollars in traditional marketing. We're not running big fancy ads, and we're not doing a lot of trade show stuff. The majority of our business is being driven through inbound content marketing on the internet. So customers are looking for similar products to what we're doing, then we drive them into our funnel, and then we also have a direct enterprise sales team. So we have inside, outside sales that are going and working with very large companies, introducing our product to them and going through the cycle. Allstate, for example, was about a 6-month process. In terms of the competition, we have adjacent competition. I'm not so naive to say that we don't have any competition, but we certainly are standalone. Gartner, Forrester, Frost & Sullivan have all said that we're in a new quadrant. They just haven't named it yet. In terms of the team here, I founded Kiosk Incorporated. I can almost guarantee every one of you have touched technology that I've worked on. If you've ever touched self-service touchscreen kiosk in an airport, for example, I started in that industry when it was a $30 million global industry and exited with my company at $2 billion. Kiosk.com was my website. Ted Tompkin, venture capitalist. Alan Witters was founder of Whamnet, the fastest growing company in the world, 2 years in a row. Also did the biggest contract, government IT contract here in DC, $6 billion. Projections and milestones, we're growing very quickly, 45.7% month-over-month growth from February to March, and we expect to see that same type of trajectory here. We've got a couple of big deals like the National Association of Realtors that we're working on right now. We think in about a year, over half of all real estate agents will be using our technology. And in terms of the raise, we have 2 institutionals that are already participating, supporting us. We're putting together a syndicate round right now. We're raising $3 million. It's Series A1 preferred, and we're using this for channel development, additional sales and marketing. So most of the R&D, all the technology is in place here. It's all about taking what we've proven customers will pay for and multiplying that. And in terms of the exit, we're looking at an M&A transaction. I'm focused at anywhere between 6 and 18 months. I can tell you we've already had very good discussions from M&A departments at some very well-funded software companies. Right now, we just think we're at the beginning of our trajectory, so we want to see the company grow up a little bit more. But this is that process that we're going to be going through here. And our probably the most interesting guy I've been learning from going through this process is Doug Burgum. He was my first outside institutional investor, and Doug founded Great Plains Software, sold it to Microsoft for $1 billion, and more recently he was a chairman over at SuccessFactors, and he sold that they sold that to SAP for like $3.4 billion. So he's been a really good mentor to me, and he's been helping us navigate what this could look like here in the future. So that's my demonstration. Please reach out to me if you have any questions. Again, thank you so much for inviting me here. I really appreciate it.
Well, I have a question about the connectivity between Workbase and other social media sites.
Yeah, I mean, when you think about it, you may want to engage with a company in Facebook, but you don't want to be a Facebook friend with them. What we've done is we've basically built a technology that can go self-contained into all these environments. Call it a Trojan horse, call it whatever you want to, but these web containers go into all those environments. We're the only non-Facebook owned social profile technology that works ubiquitously across all Facebook. And as you know, Facebook's got a couple of users.
Okay. Questions else? Yeah, Jack.
Any statistics at this point with respect to renewals? Are you seeing 100% renewal rates, or can you tell us? Are your contracts over a year at this point? How many contracts?
Yep, so we're just hitting our first contracts for over a year. The product wasn't released till January 7th of last year, and we didn't really start monetizing until the very beginning of Q2, so we're now seeing one-year-old history there. I'm proud to say, and also scared to say, that our churn rate has been 0. We lost one customer for 2 days. They called us up and said they didn't want to use it anymore, and their sales department rebelled against them. They called up 2 days later, ate a little bit of crow, said we want, turn it back on. So we haven't lost a customer yet.
How about valuation? What is valuation?
$7 million is where we put it at, but ultimately investors are going to dictate our valuation to us. But we feel that we put in the work and the blood, sweat, and tears, and that's a fair valuation for this business.
With startup with your customers, is there a significant cost to bringing a new customer in, and when do you start to get profit from that? In other words, is there a lot of front-end costs when you bring new customers in?
Yeah,
set them up?
So our cost per acquisition under the web-based drive model is about $5.75, so it's very, very low. On the direct enterprise sales, it's relatively high right now. Our CPA is running about $2,700. So we're doing travel and a lot of work around that. The visibility to the ROI with that client is also stretched out. It's typical enterprise sales, so it's taken 4, 6, 8 months to be able to get through that process with them. However, the number of seats, the number of users, the potential is very, very large, right? We just delivered a proposal in SOW for Subaru of North America. That particular one there's a potential for thousands of seats there. So, but we are seeing the time to sale coming down, but that's because we're learning.
I asked the question about the thousands of seats, about how long does it take you to bring up 1,000 new seats?
Typically, there's a little bit of interface with the client, but we can add 1,000 seats under the initial one, but we can add up to 10,000 seats per week for a client. So we can scale faster than any client we're aware of out there.
What is the largest client that you have, at least in terms of number of seats?
AAA is. They're using it for insurance, travel, and membership services. So they're the biggest right now.
And what's that number? 50 seats, 500 seats?
I'd have to get that number for you. I'm sorry. It's someplace in that region there. We do not have any clients that have over 500 seat deployment right now. The biggest opportunity we have is with Allstate. We've been working with for a while there, and that one looks like 6,000 or more seats.
What's been the feedback of the companies that have been using it for a year in terms of the difference between the live chat button and what you're offering?
Yeah, so Legacy Chat Live, that Chat Live button, it's really apples and oranges. We've never walked into a potential client where we didn't end up displacing their Legacy Chat solution. In fact, that's exactly what happened to Cleveland Browns. They got frustrated with it, wanted to shut it off, and came to us. We deliver more personalized experiences, more authenticity, showing real human beings. There's more customer trust there, so you see higher conversion out of that. But it's also about faster time to sale and really trying to get to that customer, react to them very, very quickly. And when you enable your force to all be able to have presence with that customer, it's a no-brainer why that works, why you see better results.
But do you have statistics on comparing close rates or time to close on chat rooms versus your technology?
Absolutely. We have metrics that would make your head spin. So there's nothing that happens with our technology that is not tracked and analyzed. So. Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right.